Hi, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Eva and I am such a mood reader. I always try to plan my reading, but it's usually not working out. So in this video, I'll be taking you on a journey of reading the books I was really craving to read. And I can tell you right now, it will be getting super emotional. So I'm currently listening to Mockingjay, the third book in the Hunger Games series. And I only have 2 hours and 34 minutes left. And I really need to do my nails. So I'm going to continue listening to this one now and do my nails while listening to it. My nails are done, finally. It took me way too long. I'm pretty happy with how they turned out. I know they probably would look better if I had them done at the nail studio, but I don't have the money to do that. So yeah, doing them myself will have to be enough. But yeah, I'm actually pretty happy. Like, they're not perfect, they never will be perfect, but still. I also just have 1 hour and 40 minutes left of Mockingjay. I don't know if you can see. The story is so intense, like the action in this book is insane, and in like the whole series. And even though I've watched the movie a couple of years ago, not a couple of years ago, many years ago, I still didn't really remember like how, especially how Mockingjay is going to go. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to finish that one tomorrow. I have to go to a birthday party later, so I don't know how much more reading I'm going to get done, but the other book I'm currently reading is A Wish for Us by Tilly Cole. I am 94 pages into this one, and this one is about a pretty famous DJ who has met a girl at one of his concerts, but she criticizes him like very harshly. And then a few months later, he goes to college in the US, like he's from Britain. It's like a music college, and he meets this girl again, and she's in the same class as him. And he's always trying to keep people as far away as possible from him because he's had a like very rough trauma in his life. His chapters talking about how he just wants to party and how he wants to keep everyone as far away as possible from him. Like, that's a little bit too much for me. Like, I feel like that could have been kept a lot shorter. I get that the author is trying to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that so we know what's going on in his mind. Sometimes I feel like those repetitive thoughts that some characters are having in some books are just a little bit too much. Like, they could have just been kept a lot shorter, and I'm getting bored by them very, very easily. But I will continue this one tomorrow and Mockingjay as well, and hopefully finish Mockingjay tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not feeling as great today. I'm on my period and everything is a little bit meh, I don't know. But I've actually already read 100 pages today of A Wish for Us, and I'm exactly halfway through now. And yeah, I don't know, I'm having very mixed feelings about this book. On the one hand, like, it's very interesting because it deals with a very interesting concept that I've never really heard about. I've only played the Life is Strange True Colors game before, and that's where the main character can see emotions as colors, and that's like a very interesting trait as well, but that's not real, you know? And this one seems to be real, like that a person can see music as color or like sound as color. But on the other side, I don't know, I'm getting bored with the book every once in a while. Cromwell feels a little bit one-dimensional sometimes. I don't know, like, even though he has a very traumatic past and he's very bruised from his past and from his ability to see colors with music, the relationship between Bunny and Cromwell is at a point now where I feel like they finally like found together. And like, we're only halfway through the book, so I'm not really sure what else is going to happen. I don't know, maybe it will surprise me over the next half of the book. Maybe I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so amazing at the end of this.
Don't you know they never stick around? What if I still find us in an empty crowd? We're fogging up the clouds, and I'm scared that it's all gonna crack. But you convince me, and I fall for the stars that I see in your eyes. You convince me that I can't know if I never try. Love me like you do, baby, you make me feel so new all the time. You convinced me. Summer is over, summer is gone. Now it's October and I can't move on. 'Cause you convinced me in July that it all feels different this time. You convinced me, and I believed when you told me it feels so right. Fade into a haze, oh, I still spend my days counting nights. You convinced me. You found me.
If my frame moves a little bit, that's because my cat is going a little bit crazy and attacking the camera stand. So yeah, just be prepared for that. It's a few days later, and as you've seen, I finished A Wish for Us and have started A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. The first half of the book was like a pretty standard romance story with a little bit of a twist because the main character can see colors when playing and listening to music. But like for the first half it was a pretty standard love story. And then it gets a bit dramatic, honestly. Like it's a little much, and it has definitely gotten to me. As you've seen in an earlier clip, like I was bawling my eyes out over the story. It was a little bit too much for me. Like it really reminded me of Colleen Hoover's books that are just a little bit over the top and a little bit over dramatic, and like for a lot of it I just couldn't really connect to the characters because it felt so unrealistic to me. Like this whole scenario, there were so many plot twists and so many things that you didn't expect and so many things that would have never happened in real life that I just couldn't believe it, honestly. Like it was just too much. I won't spoil you what's happening in here, but if you love really dramatic and over-the-top stories like Colleen Hoover's stories, then I'm pretty sure you will love this one. Like on the one hand, it was a little bit too much for me and I couldn't like completely connect to the characters, and on the other hand, I was bawling my eyes out at the end. So I didn't really know like what to rate this book. I think I came to the conclusion to rate it 3.75 stars because yeah, it was better than average, but it was still not like an all-time favorite book. So yeah, now let's talk about A Curse for True Love. I am exactly 100 pages into the book. The font of this whole trilogy is like insanely huge. And I have to say that so far this book isn't as gripping as the first two books were to me. My cat is playing with the camera stand again, so you know, if it moves. Like we're thrown into the story exactly as it had happened at the end of the second book. And like we left the story at a pretty intense moment and we didn't right away see the characters we wanted to see in this book. I still really hope that the next 300 pages are gonna turn around the story a little bit and that it's going to get a little bit more interesting and that we're gonna see our favorite character again. Yeah, so far it's just okay, to be honest. I'm still having a really great time reading this. It's really easy to read. It's such a light writing style. I didn't tell you that I finished Mockingjay. Sorry, completely forgot about that. But yeah, I've also finished Mockingjay. I was honestly a little bit crying at the end of this. It was really, really intense, and if you've seen the movies or if you've read the books or if you did both, you know what's gotten so intense and so sad at the end of the third book. But like, yeah, it really left me bruised a little bit. It was so great to really experience the story, how it was written in the first place. Now I'm on to The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is the prequel to The Hunger Games, and also the movie has just come out. The storytelling is a lot different, in my opinion. Like, it's written very differently. Like, to have like this whole like you don't really know what's going to happen vibe is super interesting, because like we do know what's happening in like the very advanced future, but we don't know what's going to happen in this particular story, and I find that very, very intense and very gripping. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention I've rated Mockingjay 4 out of 5 stars. I'm on page 303 of A Curse for True Love, and it's a few days later because I've been really sick over the last few days. I only have 70 pages left of this one, so I really want to finish it today, but I'm not 100% hooked yet with this book. I don't know. I'm liking it a lot more since the last incident of the second book has finally been resolved. I think it happened around 250 pages into the book. Like, for the first 250 pages we only saw the main character struggle with the incident of the ending of the second book, and now it's finally picking up pace and it's finally getting interesting. I can't wait to see how this trilogy is ending, and I kind of don't want to let these characters go, but I know that I have to. And I'm very all over the place with my emotions, to be honest. And yeah, I will finish this now. I also only have 4 hours left of listening on A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have finished this trilogy, and oh my gosh, my emotions are everywhere. Oh, I have read the Caravel books in late 2021, and to now read the last book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series and to let Jax go is so hard. Because Jax was my absolute favorite character in Caravel and in Once Upon a Broken Heart, obviously. And Oh my gosh. My emotions are all over the place, and the ending was so insane. Especially because like most of the book was pretty boring, to be honest. And the ending was incredibly intense. Like, wow. I didn't expect that it would get this intense, especially because most of the book was pretty boring. And I don't even know. I don't know how to rate this because like the ending was insane, but most of the book was boring, so I don't know. Like, I love the series, but I also really love that I have the edition with the apple on the front and the apple here, because Jax always has an apple. So I think even though most of the book was really slow and not as action-packed as the first two books were, I think I might still give it 4 stars because the ending was everything and like left me breathless, literally. So I might actually give it 4 stars. Do you know the feeling when you've just finished a book and you would like to read more, but your emotions are so messed up that you can't pick up another book? Because if you would pick up another book, you would not be able to focus on that book because your thoughts are focused on the book you've just finished. That's what I'm feeling right now. Maybe I'll continue The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes later, but I think I need to breathe for a minute. And yeah, we'll probably finish that one in the next few days and not today, because yeah, I just need to digest this book and truly get over everything that happened here. I have finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and let me tell you, that was a really wild story. Oh my gosh. It was completely captivating and consuming, and it was so intense. I mean, the most important thing about a story is usually the main character. But in this story, the main character was absolute trash. Like, the whole character development of the main character was completely horrifying. Because we know it's Cornelius Snow from The Hunger Games. It's not a great character. And in the beginning he starts off as this like really almost cute and naive guy. And then he turns into this really gruesome and horrible person, and it was so incredibly tough to watch, honestly. I just really wanted to look away, but I couldn't. But what the best thing about the story was were definitely the side characters. The side characters truly saved the story, because without the side characters we would just have like a horrible main character. And like all of the connections that were made between Katniss and the Hunger Games and District 12 and like everything that will happen in the future were so interesting and so cool to see. I'm not 100% sure on how I will rate this book. I think it will be in between 4 and 4.25 stars. But yeah, I will put on the screen what I'm going to rate it. In the end, it's always so tough to rate books right after you finish them. It's literally impossible to me sometimes. I don't know how people do it, honestly, because you have so many thoughts and either a book is really good or really bad, and then it's really easy to rate it. But if it's not like 100% clear, then I think it's so tough to rate a book to really do it justice with the rating about how you're actually feeling about it. We have reached the end of this mood reading vlog, and I had so much fun reading all of those books, and I hope you had fun watching this. And if you did, it would mean so incredibly much if you subscribe to my channel and like this video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!